let me tell you, if you happen to be browsing your local Epic Game Store Fortnite V-Bucks vendor and you want to have a cool interaction with your favorite content creator, the next time you make a purchase, you can use the code PatStaresAt, and that'll help the channel. That's a cool interaction.
Right. So the bit can no longer be about Spite playing something for weird eyeball-like reactions. The bit has clearly firmly become, like, ironically play the thing and then get super into it.
The original bit was slightly different than just Spite play it for lulz or what have you. It was... So I talked about this briefly when I played League of Legends briefly.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Both of those games have one thing directly in common, and World of Warcraft also had it during its good years, right? And it is, when you're playing it, you can feel two things. One is, wow, you can feel how popular it is from the menu.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the second one is, wow, so this is what a video game with completely unlimited budget feels like.
Yes, I recently played Call of Duty.
Yeah. And it's just, oh, every pore has been money syringed to death. And so this is actually the third time I played the Fortnite. Once I played it when it came out. The second time I played it 6 months later. And then this would be the third time. And this is the time that it clicked. Because I was talking to people about Apex. Because the leaks came out for the Apex. They're going to put a Titanfall character in Apex. I don't know if you saw that.
Hmm.
They're going to put the villain of Titanfall 2, I think his name was Bisk or Brisk or something like that, into Apex.
Well, he was already in the trailer. The first trailer for the game. He was sitting at the bottom.
He'll have a wall run, and he can call area denial Titan or whatever the fuck. And even if that's not real, all that matters is me going, man, I sure would love to play Apex Legends by myself. Like, and ensued was the conversation that happens every time I make the mistake of saying that out loud. Is somebody comes out of nowhere, goes, it has solo queue now! And I go, really? And they go, yeah, you can queue by yourself against an entire game of teams of 3. Good solo queue. That's
Okay.
That's exactly what I mean when I say I want to play Apex Legends by myself.
So you got your solo queue in Fortnite, and it sounds like you enjoyed it. How many people exploded into a tower of construction blocks upon being shot?
Yeah, there's that nice little image of like Tetris 99 and Fortnite and I think Apex, which is like, does somebody turn into a 4-story building when you shoot them, and are you happy about it?
Yeah.
With Tetris 99 being the only one that's yes and yes. I'm gonna say maybe sub 10% of all people.
Because that is easily the most unappealing thing about the entire game to me.
Yeah, absolutely. So it is sub 10% of all players that I've seen. Just they get hit once and they just instantly turn into a building. And what's actually much more interesting than that is that, how do I put this? Do you remember that match of Third Strike that I played against Min where he did the full Daigo parry?
Vaguely.
Okay, so I played a match of Third Strike against Min, and I played as Chun-Li, and he did the full Daigo parry, like, no problem. And then I walked up to him and threw him like 6 times in the corner. And won. Because he couldn't tech my throw. That's what it feels like.
Okay.
It feels like, oh my god, look at that guy turn into a building! and then I shot him.
From your building?
No. He poked his head out, and I shot him. That's been most of those interactions.
Okay.
There have been like I want to say literally 5 times that I have shot someone and they turn into a building and they go into the sky, and then they land behind me and just fucking put a banana up my ass or whatever. And those are the true iPhone kids or whatever the fuck. But
So you've played quite a few games then.
I've won 8.
How many of those were with real players?
All 7 of them.
Okay.
I want to say, well, the first one was, I want to say 90 bots and 10 real people.
Yeah. So they're still doing that?
Oh yeah, it's really clear. It's really obvious. And it's not the situation where you suddenly jump in and now it goes from bots to real people. It's like 90-10 and then like 75-25 and then 50-50, and then after that it's just real people. But yeah, no, 7 of them were completely real wins against human beings. Now, whether or not you consider children
Human
beings is one thing. I have never played a game that had a wider skill gap.
Well, I assume that since it's the thing, right? You're entering Disney World, and you're grabbing 10 random people around you at Disney World, and you're gonna go play a game with them.
Yeah.
I would assume that it's such a large base of people that like you're getting an overall massive mixture of people who literally just do not play games with those who play nothing but Fortnite all at the same time.
All the way, the whole gamut.
Yeah.
There are people that like it feels like I've seen like a wider skill gap here than in anything I have ever played. Like people that get the drop on you and shoot at you and shoot at you, and then you turn around and then they shoot at you and they don't hit you like a single time. And then they just stand there and then you pop them once and they blow up. All the way to what you think of as like spontaneous building gun generator freakazoids. But the vast majority of the time it's against people that are like normal or less than normal, and it feels great.
Do you feel like you're walking into the big party at the video game, like, house? Like, do you feel as if, you know what I mean? Like, there's
yeah.
Because this is
feels
the thing.
Like that
this
time
is
we
what
walked
it is. It's the
to
Fortnite.
the Street Fighter 4 side tournament at the Smash Brothers event. And you're like, "Hey, do you guys play Street Fighter?" "Yeah, a little." Bam. Take that, children. It's 2 things. One is something like you can just there's 340 million people playing it.
It's the fighting game tournament at the Anime Con. That's what you're looking for.
That's much better, yeah. There's 340 million people playing it, and you can actually feel it because it's like matchmaking times are instantaneous, and it's a giant game. Like comparing this to like the experience of playing PUBG was like hilarious, because PUBG it got that head start, and it looked like shit with basic Unity assets, and they never ever got to the point where it was anything other than, oh, I got killed by a cheater. So like no fucking features or anything like that. Meanwhile, like the first game I ever played of Fortnite, I dropped in and I'm like, "Oh dude, I think I can get the drop on Master Chief while he's stuck fighting Deadpool."
What skin did you use?
The brand shit is out of control.
What skin did you use?
The default.
What is the default?
The default is now it is a collection of normal-ish looking NPCs that wear a green like army shirt and tan slacks or tan shorts It used to be like a guy with like a tank top and like a bandana kind of thing. It's all
Did
right.
did
It's
you not
fine.
have access to Palpatine?
I did not have access to Chancellor Palpatine or Emperor Palpatine.
Hmm.
Uh, and then I'm like, okay, what's in the battle pass? Oh, Lara Croft is in the battle pass. That's the video game character of this brand synergy scenario. And they know what they're doing because the first unlock at the very beginning is the reboot Lara Croft, and the second unlock about a third of the way through the pass is the fucking anniversary classic Lara Croft, and then the super secret unlockable is the Lara Croft from the PS1 cinematics with the sharp face.
Mm-hmm. Do they So all that shit's like time locked, the waves and all that. Is that the? But
So that was the most confusing thing. When I turned the game on for the first time, I was faced with what might be the most awful starting screen I've ever seen in a video game. It was, hey, get them now. They're leaving in 8 hours. Ryu, Chun-Li, Master Chief, Kratos, John Wick, Sarah Connor, and the Terminator will all leave in 8 hours. Get them now.
mm-hmm,
And I'm like, I just pressed start.
mm-hmm.
I just pressed start. Can you please, God damn it.
Now, I remember also seeing at a time that like gameplay changing things existed, like the tanks or the rolling balls that people had for a while there, the little
Yeah.
mech things, and Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet,
Yeah, this
right?
season's thing is there's a bunch of wild animals on the map, and you can tame wild animals or make special versions of guns with animal parts.
Okay, but all those gameplay elements come and go as well.
They are tied to the season, yeah.
Okay, all
As
right.
well as like the map will change.
Okay.
So what I discovered about the limited variation thing is that there's a trick. Something like the Predator will literally never ever 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 come back because the Predator was on the Battle Pass, and Battle Pass shit never comes back. So I actually just finished The Mandalorian, and I'm like, oh cool, the Mandalorian's in this, and he was the premier Battle Pass of the last season. So he will never ever come back. But you know what might happen? They might just happen to sell a season 3 Mandalorian on the store that has nothing to do with the battle pass. Or, hey, this ancient skin that was part of the battle pass was really popular. It'll never come back, except for this new version where he has a red stripe on his black shirt instead. So that's the way they get around it, where they'll be like, Lara Croft, for example, will be exclusive to this battle pass forever, but in a year maybe you'll get Lara Croft with a hat, and that's a different skin.
Right. Right.
That's different. So for example, like, you know, Kratos and Master Chief are gone, and I'll pick those up if I want to, but they'll come back in like, I don't know, 6 months or whatever the fuck. You know, Master Chief costs $45.
In V-Bucks?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a good thing people can go to your link and give you V-Bucks.
That's right. No, they don't. No. If they happen to spend V-Bucks and use my creator code, that is Pat Stares At, I will receive 5% of that, which I will then put towards V-Bucks for content creation of Fortnite. That's right.
Cool.
Kratos costs like $34, and like seeing them next to each other on the menu was like really funny because it's like, wow, Sony and Microsoft really just charged the absolute maximum they could possibly get away with on this.
If the CEO farts in your face, is that worth V-Bucks?
I mean, I'll have to ask them.
Okay. Just checking.
Tim Sweeney's still a fucking bitch. Yeah, no, it's this thing where I'm playing it, and I think one of the first things I streamed last week, one of the first things I said was like, I hate this game because it feels really good. It feels hyper polished. There's a million options.
It
There's
feels
a
like the most, like it feels like the thing, the party.
yeah,
It's the room. It's the
yeah.
most. Yeah, it's the game.
Like it's slick and immaculate,
Mm-hmm.
and everything feels perfect. And it's like, wow.
Yeah. If Virgil showed up, would you play it? Wooly? No. I'm.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, you would.
I'm not.
You would
Dude.
play it. What if there's a taunt that he does? You don't have motivation, and it does a variation of the
Street
default
Fighter
dance,
and Chun-Li and Ryu and the Xenomorph and the Predator are all really good incentives.
Yeah, but
Either
what if it
way.
was Blanco?
Yeah, no, I don't care about fighting game or character I like skins per se. That's not.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Using this kind of
legitimately-
logic on you is always silly.
It's super pointless. Like, that doesn't work. I'm not being breadcrumbed by that. I legitimately feel like, yeah, I guess if you can say that. So effectively, the tower system construction thing ends up being a non-factor in most of your games, is what you're saying there.
It is. How do I put this? Like the scenario of
Teppen is a really
instant
fun
building
game. Everybody, Teppen's a really fun game. I enjoy it. Working my way up through champion rank.
the I would say in a total game of 100 people, there are five people in that match that will turn into towers. And the question is whether or not, when you get to the final 10, if any of them are still alive. Because like I put up a Twitch clip, sorry, not Twitch clip, Twitter video through the PS5 of every single win that I had, and only one of those had a person turn into a tower.
Okay.
The rest of them were like the same shit you'd see in every other battle royale, which is you like skulking your ass around a corner in a tiny ring, hoping that you get the drop on the guy. Or there are three of you and the other two start fighting, and you just wait until they're done and you shoot one.
No.
Now it should be mentioned, I'm on the console. I'm on the PlayStation 5.
Right.
I'm not on the PC.
other, but it's no. But you're playing with cross-played people.
Yeah, but it still attempts to fill your game with people from your console first,
right,
and then crossplay
That's
afterwards.
Nice.
The crossplay is mainly so you can play with your friend.
That's actually that feature is probably worth distinguishing on its own as like cross priority. You know, where it's like you can play with others, but we will try to keep it to the same place that you are. That's good. That's a smart idea. All bits aside and veil down, I honestly I've just never had an interest, you know. I tend to like see the thing that is like, you know, blowing up in one way or another, and in some cases I'll be like, does this interest me? And in Fortnite's case, it just kind of doesn't. It's not to say I will never ever play it. I've never, you know, before the lines get drawn in a bit of like he will never ever touch it. I've never said that I will never touch it, but as it stands, I'm not particularly interested. There's things that grab my attention way stronger, and one of those things, which I'm looking forward to hearing about, is Rise, which I assume you got some time in on.
I did. To finish off that last thought is like, yeah, the thing is, I really love Battle Royale. I love that thing. And it's just like, I found a reason to absolutely hate every game in that genre. From PUBG to Warzone to fucking Apex. Like, okay, let's try Fortnite. Oh, it's good. Shit. Crap. Darn it.
Enjoying Apex, like I know what makes the games fun. I can see how that, you know, I can see the through line 1-to-1 on that. So I mean, you know, I get it.